Good afternoon, Warden Hill, and here we are again at the end of another week. It's been a great week.
Fantastic week.
Loved it.
I love this assembly. It's going to be a celebration.
Yes, indeed. Mr. Antonius is just sharing the screen here, and we're going into our assembly of celebration for the week, children.
Brilliant. I am really proud of what we have achieved this week. Now, before we start looking at the children, I wanted to thank the parents.
Yep, absolutely.
Because we're really impressed with what you've been able to achieve this week. You're working from home, you're doing your homeschooling, you're keeping your children safe, you're keeping your children happy. It's been amazing what you've achieved, parents. So give yourself a round of applause. And if we could write 450 merit marks to the parents, we would.
Or you can open that fridge later on.
Yes. Right, so we'll start our celebration with something very special.
Yeah, so listening to parents as they've popped in this week or getting the few expressions through, we are very mindful that this is a very different way of learning for our children, and it is hard work. All right, they're not used to being sat in front of screens, but it is what it is at the minute. I think we're doing the best we possibly can in delivering our curriculum for the children in this way. And I'm just really proud of all the super efforts that teachers are putting in at the moment, all the videos that they're creating and those live sessions. However, we would like to put out there a no screen Friday for next Friday, the 29th of January, just in recognition of just having a bit of a break from the screen and refocusing in on activities that the children can get on with still independently, parents, or you might actually find that actually come Friday you're able to manage the day and do some activities together. So this is what we're proposing for next week. There'll be no work set on Google Classroom for Friday. You can use the day as you want, entirely up to you, and we've just given a few ideas of some of the activities children might want to do. These activities are for reception all the way up to year 6 pupils, so there's a real mix in there, or you could create some of your own ideas.
So it's a break from the screen, not a break from learning. Still going to be loads of powerful learning going on. It's just empowering us to get away from the computer.
Definitely. All right, so it's almost like a sort of a get out there. I think one of the activities is a bug hunt, and you could combine it, going out on a bug hunt in your garden, and then maybe doing some scientific drawings in your book as well. So it's entirely up to you how you plan the day out. All right, so that one's there. That will be uploaded. This grid will come out on Sunday night along with the weekly timetable, so you can have a look and plan how you're going to sort of manage that day. All right, entirely up to you, parents.
I think it's really exciting.
Great.
It's a great idea. Just wanted to share Hunter's journey on our scavenger hunt last week. I thought it was a really powerful event. I love doing it with my children, seeing the other families. I must stress this is for our daily exercise. We're not openly asking you to go out, but like during your daily exercise, get out there and have some fun. And it was a really lovely family event.
It was, yeah, really lovely. So thanks, Mr. Antonius, for doing that one for us.
Well, that was our first weekend event, and now we're going to move on to this weekend's challenge. It's very exciting.
Very exciting. So, children, we have got our first lockdown inter-house competition for you. So this new challenge, the idea is that you can go out for your daily exercise with your parents, and you can either use, you can scoot, you can walk, you can jog, and you're going to record how many kilometres that you do, and then we're going to ask you to upload that onto a form that's going to come out for you today. And you can combine, if you've got other children in the house with you, your brothers and sisters, combine all of the kilometres, and then you select your house, what house you're all in, because you're all in the same house, and then pop in the amount. And then we'll work out the amounts on Monday, and then on our Monday morning whole school assembly we'll announce the house champions for our first lockdown inter-house competition.
And just to make it a little bit more special, the teachers are going to be involved as well, and their kilometres will be added to the totals. So go Windrush.
And all the other houses, Colne, Churn and Leach.
Sorry, I'm a bit biased there. But go Windrush. Okay, so as we move on to the celebration, the highlights of the week, we're going to go through every year. Now, these are maybe the merit marks, maybe not the merit marks. These are what
the work that we've looked at.
We've looked at and what we have chosen. So I wanted to start off with reception with these two lovely, smiling, happy boys. I absolutely love what Mason has done. He's done some great writing about the royal family, and it looks like it's a family tree. It's just brilliant. What great research.
Well done, Mason.
Great job. And then Ernie has made his own castle. Just brilliant. The way he's made it 3D, made it really realistic. I love the portcullis and the moat. It's just got all the real features.
Superb.
That would be a really hard castle to storm.
Well done, Ernie. That's brilliant.
Well done, reception.
Right, year one, look at these amazing colour wheels that the children, Holly and Henry, have created here. I just think that attention to detail and the fact you've put on additional bits on top there as well, with all the objects that are of those colours too. So year one, absolutely superb and great presentation and colouring in on the lines there, which can be really tricky. So well done.
I really enjoyed this lesson because I did it at home as
it
well.
at home? Yeah.
And it was just amazing to have that penny drop that red and blue makes purple and blue and yellow made green. And they were like, well, my daughter was like, can I mix any paint to make any colour? And it's just amazing. It was a really powerful lesson. So thanks, Mrs. Bruce. Moving on to this science experiment, I had to include Arthur's photo. That looks like someone who is really ready to do some great science. It's a waterproof experiment, so he's got his goggles on to make sure he can properly focus on the experiment ahead. Great love of science, Arthur. That's the spirit of Warden Hill right there.
Absolutely.
That is the Warden Hill way, trying your best. So well done you. And then I move on to Grace's great science, the way she's presented that using photos and pictures of her doing the experiment. It's really fun to investigate something in science and ask yourself questions and try and work it out using predictions and then making the observations. It's a really, really powerful lesson. Well done, year two.
Right, year three, archaeologists. So I know that the children have been looking into looking at different sources and history and then inferring from them what those sources were telling them. So you've got Toby and Rohan with some amazing conclusions here in terms of what they thought or what they thought that person was, or whoever it was that the sources were describing them. And they decided in the end that the person that they were looking at with all this information was a farmer. So well done, boys, really great. And the presentation is superb as well. Isn't that fantastic? Really
amazing inference skills. They were like detectives.
They were.
Not just archaeologists, they were detectives.
They were detectives with those sources, definitely.
Moving on to year four, and such a great range. I love that they have focused on the course of a river, and they've created the upper course in the mountains. They've gone through the middle course where the river starts to meander, all the way into the lower course where the estuary and the deltas, and you can see the different features of each of the course of the river. So well done, Lena and Elia. We're really impressed with that geographical vocabulary and knowledge that you've used.
Absolutely.
But this is a special mention now in year four.
Oh, yes.
We had a phone call from the year four classroom for the children working in school, the critical worker bubble, and Mrs. Bruce was like, you've got to come and see this. You've got to come now. The level of detail and different textures that they've created in their art is just amazing. And this is Jemima's. And I just love how that wooden handle, you can see the grain of the wood, 3D. And then the different texture of the canvas for the drum and the different types of lines to create the shape of that drum.
Superb. And the bottom of the handle as well, sort of using that ellipse there to create that round effect. Brilliant, Jemima.
And then, because it's a sketchbook, they've actually annotated to bring out what they're trying to communicate with their art, and I think that's a really powerful tool within your sketchbook.
And we know that Mrs. Bruce was just wowed by it as well, but it was lovely. We ended up just having a really lovely walk around and see all the different sketching going on. So year four in general, well done, amazing.
Could have put 20
absolutely
up. On to year five.
Crime and punishment. Back in the 16th century, not a time I'd like to have lived, it has to be said, reading some of these. So Charlie, I just loved how emotive this was. Your language that you were using to describe how you were feeling, your character was feeling with what had happened to them. So well done. And again, presentation, superb, Charlie. Very, very impressed. And Archie, yours as well, your diary entry, really harsh. You know, this person's had a bad day. They've had their hand cut off because they stole one of the king's deer, but you know, it's that emotion coming out again, but he's only doing it to feed his family who are starving. So you guys are really getting into the theme of this whole crime and punishment and what life was like back in the 16th century. So well done, children.
I can imagine there were some amazing debates going on about whether it was right or wrong. And challenging those notions of what's right and wrong. They were poor, they were starving.
So should they have done it?
Should they not have done it? I don't know. I would love to hear more from year five about that. Moving on to year six, and the reason I've chosen science adaptation is to show how our curriculum progresses in our school. Year one have done something very similar, looking at animals and the features that they have and the classifications, and other year groups look at animals. And then they build on that prior knowledge to get to this year six standard of being able to really describe in detail the different adaptations of these reptiles. And I just was blown away with the presentation and how they've conveyed their information.
All those annotations, absolutely brilliant, Sarah and Charlotte, really great.
So that's well done, Year 6. And that is a quick whistle-stop tour of our school. And we just wanted to do our evaluation of the week. And this was a bit of fun just to say there's a great range of work. There's geography going on, there's history going on, there's science going on, great English, guided reading. Our curriculum hasn't stopped at Wardenhill. We're trying to provide the very best that we can. But the level of work that's coming in from the children is exceptional. It's top quality. We're so proud of you, children. Keep it up. And my third photo there is showing how hard you're working. You're moving boulders, you're pushing so hard to create the very best. And that is the Wardenhill way. You're staying safe, you're being respectful, and you're trying your best. So great job, children.
So tonight, we're getting our post bags ready, children, and coming around all your houses. Could it be you this week with the Merit Mark special delivery? So last week we put some in the post, some were hand delivered, but to get the staff out and about, Mr. Antonius and myself really, we are going to go and deliver these to your doors this afternoon after school's finished. All right, so look out, listen for your post boxes as something might pop through. But to all of you, just again to say, and obviously these Merit Marks have been given to you by your teachers who have been spending a lot of time looking at all your learning from this week. Just what Mr. Antonius just said, we are so proud of everything you're doing. It all counts. When we are all able to come back into school fully, all that learning is going to come with you and we will be using it back in school, all right? It's going to be very important. When I say using it back, we'll be keeping it back in school so we can go back to go, do you remember when you did this lesson? You need to go back and have a look because that's what we do in class anyway, all right? So it matters. Everything you are doing at home matters, so well done, all right?
And to finish off this amazing assembly, we're going to do our mantra.
We are.
We've got this. You've got this. Keep working hard. We're really proud of you. And I'll pass it over to Mrs. Flukes to finish off.
Just to say, have a lovely weekend. Mr. Antonius has put together some different ways that you can maybe go out and manage those walks, the Get Active Into House Challenge. So he's put a few maps together, just if you don't have an app that you want to download, if you don't want to do it, or if you don't have a Fitbit. We've done a few walks for you and it shows you how many kilometres there are on those walks, very locally, so you'll be able to manage that. Or you can download Strava, or other apps are available.
I like that.
And you can then map your walk that way and just then pop it on. So look out for the form coming out, please, parents, and if you wouldn't mind just popping on those final kilometre amounts. And yeah, I'm very excited about that.
I'm getting out. Hopefully more running, more cycling and more family time.
Absolutely.
Have a great weekend.
Okay, bye-bye.